let's go ahead and start with this. Um, First thing to understand is in order to have a solution, however many variables you have to have that many equations. So if I have 3 variables, in order to have a solution, I have to have 3 equations. If I have 5 variables, I have to have 5 equations. All right, so the way we solve this is you can use substitution. I prefer elimination. So I'm going to do these with elimination because I think substitution gets really messy. I've had kids before that they just really, really, really want to use substitution. So if you're one of those, go for it. I am not going to tell you that you have to use elimination. But I'm going to use elimination because I think it works a lot smoother. First thing you have to do is decide which variable you want to get rid of first. In this case, we could get rid of z or y. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of z. Huh? Oh, okay. All right, so if I get rid of z, biggest part of this is you want to make sure to keep everything neat and tidy. Most mistakes occur in this where you're messy. Most of the time, if you get the wrong answer, it's because you made a tiny little mistake somewhere in this. Tiny mistakes are your worst enemy in this because what? I'm hiding.
The thing you were talking about yesterday, that weird, like, 3 division thing? Because he said something.
No, that's tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow, okay, because I was like,
Nope, that's tomorrow. All right, so I'm going to start by taking this top 1 by 2 because I want to get rid of z. So I add those together. I get that. Okay, what I want to do is, now in order to solve this, I need another equation with just x and y in it. So what I have to do is I have to start off by eliminating z twice. So I need to do what I just did again. So let's see, I'm going to pick this equation here and this one here. So if I take the top equation times 7, I'm going to get really big numbers. I think that's 119. Let's see, 98. Maybe Z wasn't the best one to pick. Okay, so now what I have is I have a 2 equation system. So just because this is the first one I'm doing, let me rewrite this so it looks a little cleaner. So now I have that system. So now I need to solve that system. Wow, I have a mess. Z definitely was not the one to do first. Okay, so let's see. I need to either get rid of x and y. I have no idea which one would be easier. Neither of them, really. Probably, I guess, let's go with y. Sorry, I need a calculator. I was like, oh, I can do all this math in my head today. I already failed. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this one times 25 and this one times 7. Yeah, one of them has to be negative. So I'll do that one times negative 7. So let's see, 11 times 25 is 275. Plus 25 times 7 is 175. Equals 32 times 25. Okay, on the bottom, 23 times negative 7 is negative 161. This is going to be negative 175. And 98 times negative 7 is negative 686. So this is 114x equals, God, I hope that's 114. Oh, yeah, it's 114. Okay, so now that we have that one, we work backwards and get the others. So I take that 1 and I put it into one of those other equations. So 11 plus 7y equals 32. So 7y equals 21. So y equals 3. Okay, then I go back to one of my original equations and I put x and y into that and find z. So let's see. 3 times 1 plus 4 times 3 minus z equals 17. So that's 15 minus z equals 17. So negative z equals 2. So z equals negative 2. So then my answer would be an ordered triple. So in 3 dimensions we have ordered triples instead of ordered pairs. All right, so that's one problem. Only 3 more to go. Yeah. Yeah. This one? Yeah, I just picked one of the original 3 equations. I could have used any of these 3. No, because like I used this one twice to figure out these equations.
How would you graph an ordered triple?
Well, you have to use a 3D graphing system. So 3D graphing system looks like that, where this would be X, Y, and Z. So I go over 1, up 3, down -2. There's where it would be.
Oh, so it'd be like, would you have to use some stuff
Huh? You'd have to have a special graphing calculator that can do 3 dimensions. There are graphing calculators that will do 3 dimensions. But in the graphing calculators I have, none of them will do 3 dimensions. Okay. Let's do this one. All right, which one you want to start with?
Start with the A and X out.
Which one? X? Okay, there's one equation. Doesn't matter. Let me use these two. Okay. Wherever I go to combine these, I just need to multiply one of them by -1 again, right? Okay, so what does that mean? No solution. So I did that one just to show you that no solution in this works exactly like no solution did before. You're working through and you just get two numbers that are not equal. It means no solution, you can't go any farther, nothing else to do, you're done. Alright, I know I wrote through that one a little fast. Am I okay to move it yet? Going, 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 going. Now, it's okay if things are missing. That just makes your life easier. So if you get a problem where something's missing, great. That saves you a step. Because like here, you know, I could take the second equation. X is missing. Great, it already has y and z. I can take the top and bottom one, get rid of x, then I have two equations that are already solved for y and z. So it saves me one step. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm going to take those two equations. Again, I'm probably writing more than I would do if I was doing this on my own, just because I'm doing this for notes. I'm going to take those two equations and add them together. X is already set up to cancel out. Okay, if I take this equation and take it times -3, then I get that. Now, just so you know, because some people make assumptions, that doesn't happen anytime you have variables missing. If you have variables missing, sometimes you get solutions, sometimes you get no solutions, sometimes you get infinite. Variables missing doesn't mean anything. So don't take this as just, assuming that, oh, well, if variables are missing, it's just going to be infinitely many solutions. No. Just chose this one like that for this one to make it go a little bit faster. Okay, we don't get to say infinitely many solutions. We have to come up with it's sort of like an equation for the solution. So this is how we do this. First thing we're going to do is we're going to choose a variable, and we're going to create a dummy variable. So we want to choose a variable that is easy to use. It's already been kind of solved for. That is part of our two equations or two variable system. So you want to start off by using either y or z. It doesn't matter which one you choose, so I'm going to let you guys choose, y or z. Z. Okay, great. And then you set it equal to some dummy variable. Usually we use either n or a or something. Again, honestly doesn't matter. Your book usually uses a. I don't ever use a because my a's look like 9s. So I usually use n. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to get all the variables in terms of n. So what I need to do now is I need to solve for y. So I'm going to go back to one of my equations that was just y and z, and I'm going to solve for y. So exactly like we did on the first problem. Once we found x, we plugged x back in to find y. So treat this like a number. I found z. Now I need to go back and find y. Yep. So y minus, and z was n. So y equals n. Okay, now I need to go back and find x. So I go back to one of my original equations. So x plus and I plug in what y and z was equal to. So y was equal to n and z was equal to n. So x is equal to 2n minus 1. Okay, then what I do is I just write this as my ordered triple. What? Yes. Now, what this gives us is this gives us all the possible solutions. Yeah, Taylor. On the what? Oh, I used the top equation. I could have used that one, yes. If I would have used that one, I would have still got the same thing for x. Yeah, Andrew? Okay. Okay, what this does is we have infinitely many solutions. That's our answer, right? This gives us a formula for all those solutions. So if n is 0, my answers are -1, 0, and 0. That's one of the possible order triplets. If n is 1, then my ordered triplet is 1, 1, and 1. Yeah. You can pick whichever variable you want to be in. So there's actually 3 possible formulas. Each formula would work the same way. You only have to come up with one formula. I have to come up with 3, so whenever I'm checking your test, I can check for all 3 of them. So it's possible whenever you guys are doing these problems, you could compare it to a friend and they have a different formula. As long as you can come up with the same order triples, it's fine. Okay, that makes sense? Okay, I want to do one more just to make sure you're okay with that. One more looks a little bit different so that it's not just a total, going back over the exact same thing again. Okay, at the beginning I told you that in order to solve a 3-variable system, you had to have 3 equations. Well, lots of times in life things don't work how we want them to work. There's lots of times where you have 3 variables, but you only have 2 equations. Or in real life, a lot of times you have, 50 variables, but only 40 equations. That's fine. That just means that you're going to have infinitely many solutions. What you need is you need to know what those solutions look like, so then you can have a path for your solutions. You know what that line looks like, so you have a guide for your solutions. So if you have something that looks like this, you start by getting rid of one of your variables, because we immediately know this has infinitely many solutions. There's no way this can be solved. So we start by getting rid of one of our variables. So z is already ready to get rid of. All right, choose a variable to set equal to our dummy variable. X. Okay, then we go through and we find the rest of our variables. So there's y. Then to find z, I take x and y and plug it in to one of those top equations. Again, doesn't matter which one. I'm going to plug it into the second one. Oh, look, z ended up being equal to n also. That normally doesn't happen. I thought that this one would come out to be a little bit different, but it didn't. Sometimes there's a possibility you'll even get a number for one of these. That's great. Like sometimes you'll get something like z equals 2. Well, that just means for all the solutions, z is 2. That happens. That's fine. All right. So there you go. Okay, I have your test to hand back, but first, before I do that, anyone taking this for college credit, I need you to come. I have an email here. I need you to type in your email address. If you don't have one, let me know. Because there's a survey that you need to take. No, it's called, it's a survey about the class. It's for college credit. Yeah. Just type in your email address. It's required from Newman. It's anonymous, so you can say bad things about me. I don't care. But it's just, I need to email it to you so you have the link instead of, writing it on the board and making you copy it down and type in all the little letters and stuff. So just type in your email address and I'll send it to you. No,
Oh, so it's a survey of your teaching?
yeah. And then while you guys are doing that, you grab the tests and I'll bring back the tests.
We have a
Yeah, you actually learn to take a test this time.
Oh, wait, we have a test. Okay.
As far as college credit goes, there's nothing else special you have to do. I just put the 2 grades in for you at the class. What do you have to do? What you don't know? I got lost. Stuff like this.
The higher the that is true. That is true. Because one, it's not that hard. 2, we can do whatever.
Again, this time you can hold on to this and use this to stay for the final.
I would accept that. I'm accepting it. I'm accepting it. No, I mean like I can actually accept the denominator.
Oh, okay.
I mean like I'm kind of interested in this, but oh no, it's okay.
Another thing we talked about at the beginning of the year that I haven't really mentioned. Your final will replace your lowest test score also. If it's higher than your lowest test score. It's not mandatory. No, test. If your final is higher than your lowest test score, I will literally delete your lowest test score and put your final score in that spot as well. So it can count on your grade spot.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it has to go on your grade as a final. I will also replace your lowest test score because to show that you learned the materials, I will boost your grade.
Wait, no, I'm lying. I think I'm lying.
Hopefully that's okay.
I believe that's true.
I think it was a graphic.
I never stopped recording. That's going to be a long video.